Honestly, I always wanted to do a starter home renovation. It just kind of feels like that's something every Bloxburg YouTuber has to do at some point, you know? I just never really got to it. Until today. I saw that Faulty was hosting a huge build-off, themed around the build everyone always deletes right after they get it. The first Bloxburg Starter Home. Well, technically not the first, I mean there was the one before it. But anyways. After buying the starter home for $7,500, which is pretty impressive, not gonna lie, I couldn't build a house with that little money. My first step was to move the entire build back a little, as it's normally very close to the sidewalk and I wanted a little more space to do my landscaping later on. After that was finished, I had to plan out how I wanted to renovate the build. Since this is a competition, I quickly got very competitive, crafting a complicated strategy on how to win Faulty's approval. Step 1. Don't change the most important bits. No changing the layout, no shifting rooms, no changing the color scheme. I won't even move the doors. I mean, I will allow myself to change the exterior walls and roof, because I won't be winning this competition with the house looking like this. But in the end you should still be able to tell that the build used to be a starter home. Step 2. Find out what Faulty likes and build the house in that style to get brownie points. Now I have no clue what he actually likes, because I didn't do any research beforehand. But Faulty strikes me as the kind of person that would appreciate a good mid-century modern build. Also because he made his pre-built a mid-century modern house. Anyway, so this is the plan. Like I said, I'll keep the layout and colors the same, but I will replace the existing roof with a custom one, add in a chimney sticking out as well as a carport next to the entrance, and I will create tall custom windows like this. Enough of the talking though, it's time to win this competition. That's now 2 videos in a row in which I torture myself by building a custom roof. This time is worse though, as this roof is made entirely out of structurals. But if I want to have any chance at this competition, I have to do my very best. And to be fair, the hassle of building this roof is going to be well worth it in the end. That being said, I will be deleting and redoing the roof later on, as what I'm building right now just isn't steep enough for my taste. To talk about something else than what I'm currently building for a change though, I discovered that I apparently took part in one of those last to stop working challenges 4 or so years ago. That must have been the time when my channel seemed to have a future to be invited to something like that. Don't know why, but I just forgot everything about that recording session after it was done. So it was an even bigger surprise to me watching that video the first time in 4 years that I actually won the challenge. Well, technically both me and Cider won, as we decided to split the grand prize of 200 Robux between ourselves. But still. Now you can see me redoing the roof to have it at a steeper angle. Again, it's a hassle, but it just looks so much better than using a normal roof, and it will improve the interior a lot as well. Same with the custom windows that look exactly like the sketch. I just wanted to point that out. Just so you know, I left a lot of stuff out of this speed build. Not really intentionally, but I wanted to plan some rooms like the kitchen out before building them for real. And while I was kind of running on autopilot and just kept adding details, until the room was just finished. And at that point I didn't want to delete and redo all of my work on video, which is why you won't see me building the kitchen, bathroom and dining room. Yeah, sorry. It hurts even more because the kitchen is probably my favorite room out of all of them. You'll see later why, but yeah, anyways. Hey, at least you get to see me build my second favorite room after the kitchen, which is the living room. As you can see, I tore down the back wall of the house to replace it with a big custom floor-to-ceiling window. Building this window was surprisingly easy, and I left a big hole in the middle as a doorway to the backyard. For this living room I wanted to do something special. You know these types of mid-century modern shelves? I really wanted something like this for the living room, but because they obviously don't exist as an item in-game, I had to create my own custom version. I usually don't do custom furniture, and it shows, but the shelf turned out alright, I guess. I just noticed that we are kinda close to 5,000 subscribers, and I really want to do something special for that occasion. Like something I don't usually do, if you get what I mean. Maybe I'll do something arts and craft related, as I've been drawing a lot again, as you maybe have seen with the shift and thumbnails recently, even with the thumbnail of this video. I'm creating this video in a weird order, so I already finished the thumbnail, and I have to say it's probably the best one I've made this far, like I'm really proud of it. Maybe we can do another live stream, but I'm really not sure what to do in it. Anyways, enough about my success on this platform or my countless talents, let's focus on the build again. After finishing the living room by adding in a custom ceiling, I moved on to the bedroom. If you ignore the custom windows, the bedroom is really basic, which would usually be fine, but remember, this is a competition, so I have to go all out basically everywhere. If you remember in the beginning, we added a chimney to the front facade, which gave me the idea to add a fireplace into the bedroom. Only problem with that is that I would have to build a custom corner fireplace, as the bedroom isn't that big and a fireplace wouldn't really fit anywhere else. In the speed build it honestly doesn't look too complicated, but in game I was really struggling to make it look good, as I'm not really used to building fireplaces at all really. This is probably my first build in years to feature one, to be honest. Since we were already being extra by custom making the fireplace, I decided to be even more extra by adding custom tiles to it. You could see that I used different tiles at first, but I didn't really like the color of them, so I switched them out for white tiles so I could color them myself. The bedding and the rest of the decorations aren't that special, to be honest, as I felt that the custom windows and the custom fireplace made the room interesting enough by themselves. Like I said, I didn't record some of the rooms, so we now move on to the landscaping. To be honest, for the front yard I was just spamming plants on a small hill I custom made with a mansard roof, I believe. I also added a recolored cherry blossom, but that was pretty much everything I did for the front yard. The backyard isn't that much more interesting. I built a deck with plank structurals and added a few sun chairs and an umbrella. Yeah, you can tell I kind of ran out of energy at this point of the build. And well, here we have the finished build. Overall it's around $500,000. Now that's with this car, so it's probably like $430 or something like that. So this build is really expensive. And I would like to get a little of that money back, you know. Maybe by winning a competition of some sort. So you can obviously see the original shape of the starter home. Now for one I added this carport right here with this is pretty cool. I used these bricks to create this wall. And then right here I also added a chimney to kind of break up this very long wall. Now if we enter the home, we first of all have the dining area right here, same as the normal starter house. I used these bricks again. I really like using these in this build. You'll see them again later. But this time I actually you can't really see it, but there's like transparent structurals in them. I kind of wanted them to resemble the look of glass bricks. Custom plant, and then this right here is the living room. It's honestly pretty simple. You know, maybe that's bad for a competition, but you know, I didn't want to add too much unnecessary stuff, because I feel like that's not really what mid-century modern is about, you know? Anyways, there's my first custom piece of furniture, this kind of shelf right here. Here I made like a custom cabinet to show off my like vase collection. Those are the only things that really fit in there. And then here we have the kitchen. I didn't show it during the speed build, but yeah, this is probably my favorite spot in the entire build. Here we have these custom shelves right above the sink. I placed a lot of like travel photos onto the fridge and these post-it notes, which I really like the look of that. And then we have for one this bedroom with this custom fireplace, which was a pain to do, and the bed obviously honestly really simple. More custom plants. The same sideboard as honestly this wall right here I just copy and pasted stuff because you wouldn't see it in the pictures I would send in. Finally we have the bathroom right here. Custom tiles, of course. Custom mirror. Then the glass bricks again, of course. Then this custom shelf, which is actually modeled after a shelf I really want to get IRL. The shower, and well, a window, because the original starter home didn't have a window right here, so the room wouldn't feel as cramped. But here we have the backyard. Not that much detail going on here. I've added in this barbecue, I've added in these sun chairs and an umbrella. But that's pretty much it. Honestly, the most interesting part about this side of the house is this huge floor-to-ceiling window I custom made. The custom windows are probably the best part about this house. Maybe the custom roof as well, which I also want to highlight again. I mean, this just looks really open and nice. And oh, I forgot I'm not wearing my normal outfit. There we go. The landscaping is honestly I hate to do landscaping, so this is pretty. So I just spammed a lot of stuff. This was pretty lazy. But yeah, that's the entire build. So now we just have to submit it and wait to see the results. Okay, so the results are actually in now. I just got up, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. But yeah, the results are out, and well, Faulty actually leaked the temporary results after 2 of the 7 judges judged the build. And in that I was actually in the top 10. I believe I placed 8th or 9th. So there is actually a real chance for me to, well, not win this obviously, but to place high. Okay, so it's time to check the results. Now I'm not in the top 5. That was to be expected. I mean, just look at these builds. They're so good, obviously. But there's the final score sheet, and I feel like I have a chance here. Okay, so let's see. First, second, third, fourth. Oh yeah, no, I placed I placed 13th. Alright, you know, that's fine. But yeah, we didn't make it. That's not really surprising looking at the other builds. But yeah, it's fair, I get it. Now what was the breakdown overall? Now creativity, they gave me a 7.2, which I get, in the end it's just a house, you know. Then design, just 8. That's pretty good, I mean, I'll take that. Craftsmanship, 7.8. Yeah, I also get that there were some corners that weren't as pretty to look at. And then overall impression, 7. Yeah, you know what, that's fair. I can live with that. And now I did lose $400,000 building the house because I put so much effort into it. I will definitely not delete it now. But yeah, you know, obviously, congrats to everyone who won this and placed in the top 10. They do deserve it. And well, thank you so much for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And bye.